Hi there. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope everybody's doing well. Sims 4 video today. I'm continuing my weird color combinations. I found this online, well, after watching a Nick Lewis video. But it's on Canva. And there's 4 or 5 different ways to combine colors. But if you look at those little circles, it's showing you the radius between them on a color wheel. And except for that second one, they always seem opposite, so I guess it's preference now. I always thought it was like the colors next to or near each other on the color wheel were bad to use in combination. I have no idea anymore. I'm very confused. So I figured what I would do is just go ahead and choose colors that I think might not complement each other too much. Or maybe they do in a weird, wacky kind of way that you wouldn't think they would. I don't know. It's fun for me. I hope it's fun for you. Just unusual ways of using color, I guess. Too much of it could be bad. I know that much. Well, we all know that for a fact. Anything, right? Too much of anything is never really that great. But I just don't know. So far, the color combinations I've used, I like. I think that they look good together. And again, it all comes down to personal taste. So hopefully I can come up with something a little crazier as I go along this week trying to find those odd combinations. The only one I'm really scared about doing is ketchup and mustard. That to me is the absolute worst color combination, red and yellow. I can't stand it. I love both colors separately, but in combination, it makes me physically, like, stomach ill. I remember when I lived in one house, the next door neighbor, she had a very, very elegant yard, and she did a lot of planting. She even had one of those fake plastic ponds that she put koi in and decorated the edges. It was kind of cool. One day there was an actual heron just standing there staring at the fish. It was crazy. I call those dinosaur birds. He was huge, just standing in this tiny little yard. Anyway, every spring her tulips would come up. And they were ketchup and mustard soldiers in a perfect row all the way around the border of her house. I couldn't stand looking at it. So to fight back against that feeling, I went and did my garden all pastels, purples, pinks. I had yellow in there, and I even had red, but I had them so distant from each other that it just didn't matter. But that is one color combination I cannot abide by. If you like it, that's great. I'm just not a fan. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, and I just can't. Those two colors together are, ugh. Yeah, I even like ketchup and I like mustard. But you know what's funny is I don't necessarily prefer them both on a hamburger. One or the other, but not both. I don't even think they taste good together. Okay. Enough about me. Moving on. I went to Cabana here. And I didn't think it would work, to be honest with you. I used about the same size. I didn't use all of it a lot. I feel sorry for houses that do that. There's nowhere to play. There's no yard. So I made it a tiny bit smaller just to give them somewhere to go after a hard day at work. I'm just always imagining sitting on the back porch at sunset, just relaxing. And so I tend to do that for my Sims. And you're gonna watch me struggle with the roofs, like always. Man, I stink at this. You'd think after all this time I would have figured out how to put roofs on a house in The Sims 4, and I can't do it. Hey. But I like the way the house came out, and yeah, it probably looks very familiar. This is one of my familiar builds. It's hard for me, how do you say this? To get out of the idea of the neighborhood, if that makes any sense. It's hard for me to let go of the fact, okay, we're in a slummy area of Willow Creek. This is where the young, poor people are living who are struggling to work their way up into a better neighborhood. So I don't want to put a castle here. I don't want to put a modern mansion here. I'm afraid to do ultra-modern here. And that's dumb. I know it's dumb, but that's just my mindset. And it's so hard for me to break that and just say, no, build what you want to build on any lot that you want to build it on, and don't worry about anything else. Oy. So here's my color choices. Surprise, surprise. We get to watch the train go by, though. That's fun. Orange and pink. Orange and pink. Now, on the color wheel, they're sort of 10 and 2 position. And I, again, assuming that means they're not quite compatible with one another. But when all is said and done, I don't think it's that bad of a combination. Although you have to keep in mind that Sim's idea of a color is not necessarily yours. Like those windows are supposed to be orange and they're actually gold. And the flooring, that came up as orange, and it's a chestnut brown. And then you got some superb pink, and then you got some very subdued pink, and then you got more of a mauve than a pink. And then I lucked out because there were a few of them that had pink and orange together in it. So it can't be that bad of a combination, right? It's just not something you would think of combining when decorating. Or, you know what, now that I realize it, am I confusing decorating a house with clothing? Because I did take home ec. We never learned how to decorate a house, but we did learn how to make clothing and cook and pay bills. Everybody always says that. Nobody teaches you about taxes and paying bills. We learned that in high school. If you took home ec. It was Budget 101 or something. It was funny. It was 6 weeks into the class. So, yeah, I don't know that it looks too horrible. I think the setup is cute. That much I like. The front entrance, though, man, did I have to rework it and rework it. I am not a fan of these cupboards at all. I think they came with the cow and chicken pack. Just too distressed for my taste. Not a big fan of that kind of stuff. It's like if your cupboards look like that, frickin' sand them and paint them again, okay? Why are you leaving it like that? And then, funny, yeah, or not, but the last house was black and white, and I gave it to a girl, and this one's pink and orange, and my sim came up a guy. But oh well. That's not supposed to matter anymore. I like the way the bathroom came out. Lots of items to choose from here, especially in the orange category. Those toilets came up as orange, and that's brass or copper. Did it say copper? I think it said copper. So it is just 1 bedroom and 1 bath. I was so afraid that computer wasn't going to work in there because there was nowhere to put it in here. But I don't think it looks too bad. I don't think it came out horrifically. Kind of barren in here, but I don't like over-cluttering. Unless it's like a teen room, I don't really like over-cluttering my bedrooms. But those are all molds I need to break out of, right? So yeah, that's the inside of the house. I like the way the rugs are coming out too when I do this. It is so fascinating to see all of these unusually colored. Yeah, there's the train. Yay. Sorry, I like watching the train go by. I don't know that it makes a choo-choo or a noise, the hum of the engine. I can never remember. But that was the choo-choo. It would be sad if it didn't make any sound. So I figured with the flooring and the siding being orange, and believe it or not, that siding is supposed to be orange. I think it was called peach something, I don't remember. So I went with a lot of pink accents. And my trees are disappearing again for some reason. You see them when I first start, and then all of a sudden they vanish. I don't know why that's happening again. Hey. But they're there. You did see it at the beginning. So that was the house. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you like my effort here. It's kind of fun doing this. There's my black and white house. They're kind of buddies now. But I had a lot of trouble getting her to come to the door and greet him. I don't know why. But thank you so much for watching this to the very end. Like the video if you did. Subscribe if you're interested. As always, thank you so much for supporting my channel. I hope you have an absolutely fabulous day as well. Take good care now. Bye-bye.